This is the Hennessey VelociRaptor. It's kind of like a bespoke Ford Ranger Raptor, only that it's got an extra pair of wheels, which makes it a 6x6. Hennessey Performance have made this a much more rugged, tougher Ford Raptor. Also giving it an extra axle means that it has extra weight as well. They had to cut the back of a Ford Raptor in order to actually fit this. The result is a 3-ton beast which is very capable off-road and has much more power than the standard V6 twin turbo that is provided, making over 600 horsepower, which is nearly the same as the Ford GT. However, because of its weight, it doesn't accelerate very well, so I decided, what if it had a racing V6 twin turbo to give it that extra oomph and extra acceleration, as well as lightening some of the components. So what I've decided to do is give this a similar power up to their supercar, the Hennessey Venom GT. So as you'll see in the moment, the power figures, it's going to produce a 1,220 horsepower and over 1,200 newton meters of torque, which is astounding from such a small displacement. Plus the handy thing is the torque is delivered almost instantly, thus it should rocket off the line and have a very good acceleration 0 to 60 and even 0 to 100 and beyond. Now I've showed you the statistics, I'm going to take it on a lap on our scramble track to test it a little bit off-road. So as you can see, this massive vehicle, just the absolute scale of it compared to anything else I've ever tested here, is massive, and you can see it's accelerating extremely well. And you notice on this track it has an uphill segment coming up and it will still power along. So this is the best I got in this lap, and I'll reveal the time at the end. You can see it's nearly at 150 uphill in 5th gear. See, the braking does scare me a little bit. Even though Performance Stats says that it can brake from 100 to 0 in under 100 meters, I think that's a bit optimistic really, due to the weight of it. It's a little bit under 3,000 kilograms or 3 tons, but it's still very like a bruiser. It's an absolute weapon on off-road though. It has such a good angle of approach and stuff like that. An angle descent as well, so slowing down, and you can see the absolute understeer. The wheels are just trying their best, even though they're lightweight. The flywheel's lightened as well, so they shouldn't have as much resistance. And we crossed the line, and it's a 1 minute and 17, which puts us midway on our leaderboard, so we're 6th, behind the LMO02 with a 7.2 litre V8, and way ahead of the GMC Cyclone. However, you've got to consider that this has a hell of a lot of horsepower really, especially when compared to even something like the LMO02. That has 850, this has an extra 400, so you know, the 6x6 is practical, but it's not very good at handling in the turns. Regardless of that, let's test out its top speed now. Bet it's going to do good in this quarter mile. And finally the track test. Oh gosh. So it's the first time here on Unique Team where I've taken such a big vehicle, dimensions and also weight wise, on this track, and you can see it's pulling and hauling ass like a supercar. However, it doesn't handle like one. As you can see, I'm slowing down, being really progressive with the throttle. Because there's such short gear ratios, I also know that it's going to accelerate through the bends like a crazy thing. But its understeer is just its one massive down point. If it didn't have such understeer, it would be alright. But you notice through the turns, when you really push it, it does work proper. And so you'll see it will come down to the chicane part of the track, and I'm going super slow, super careful. Say super slow, we're going over 60 miles an hour through some of the turns, but it's hard to maintain, extremely hard. It takes a lot of concentration. You see I'm about to go across the line in just a moment. I'm still accelerating, and there we go. So 1 minute 2.9. So it's taken me 5 laps to get to the best lap, and you can see that this one is flagged. The best time at the current moment is 1 minute and 1.7. However, it's so difficult to do without actually hitting any barricades, because it just understeers like that. I nearly hit the barrier again. Oh, super slow through there. Whether it makes up for the time by gripping like mad when you push the throttle is actually quite unsettling. But and again, it goes wide, hits the barrier there. Check for any damage, but no. This rugged beast will keep continuing. So I take a slightly sharper line there and able to gather some speed back, but then I have to slow right down. But I notice when you take your foot off the throttle with this, I mean, you shouldn't do it in any sort of vehicle anyway, especially when going through a corner. You need to modulate it, but this one just doesn't see it at all. Just stays put, probably because the tyres are so big. Anyway, cross the line, minute 0.8. So that's our top 10. And this is gonna make it into 20th place, and you can see it's behind most of the A-class cars in the mid-range. See, it's on par with the GMC Cyclone, and it's much slower than the LMO02. A second quicker, in fact, is the LMO02. And that just shows that whilst the VelociRaptor may be perfect off-road, way more capable, it certainly can't handle on the street like a normal, more track-oriented car, which the Lamborghini is. Anyway, then there's the other 6 on our leaderboard. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Peace.